Dispositions. All right. Let's getting the deal done, right? The first thing we got to understand about Dispo is what we call our boots on the ground. These are the people that are going to pretty much take pics of the house, output videos too, and so we can go sell it to the cash buyer, right? We got to get pictures on the house. We got to confirm the condition of the property, right? So either you can do it a free way or a paid way, right? There's a free way and there's a paid way for it, right? Because everyone's like, oh yeah, I got no money. Okay, fine. Free way, you can JV or you can have your cash buyer do it. I hate to tell you, but that's pretty much, what if I get, realtor's going to steal your deal? A realtor is going to want money. They're part of the cash buyer portion. So if you want to boots on the ground, you don't want to pay any money, JV it with somebody or find a cash buyer. Oh, but I got no money. I don't want to give half the deal. It's like, which one do you want? You got to choose one. And then paid, obviously, I'd say about $50. You can get a BPO, right? So there's BPO agents that actually do it, that take pictures of BPOs. That's a good one too. And then on top of that too, you can kind of spend somebody on Facebook to go take pictures and a video of a property. Or a photographer is a little too expensive for like photographer's like $100. Not worth it for me.
Yeah,
but
more than that.
Honestly, it's not. Don't make the property look too good, and you kind of don't want that too. I think a lot of people don't understand this. When you take pictures of a house, you don't want to make it look better than it really is. Like you want the cash buyer to confirm it and not be shocked at something, right? And so when it comes to selling the deal, dispositioning the property, find the cash buyers virtually. It all comes down to, this is pretty simple, but like cash buyers, right? So cash buyers on the dispo side, pretty simple. There are three main ways to find it. I'll call it four if you really want to get into it. But cash buyers are going to want to flip. Oh my goodness. Either cash buyers only want to do two things. They either want to flip it for a profit or they want to rent it out. That is it. There's no which way with cash buyers. I mean, the only other type of cash buyer I know are ones that will try to live in the house or maybe buy it and then hold it for like land banking. That's 1% at most, right? Mm-hmm. I've sold some. I'll tell you this, a quick story for virtual wholesaling deal, and I think it's a really important one. I've sold deals to people that actually live in the property and they paid the most for it, right?
Yeah.
And so one example, I had this property I locked up. It was in this huge HOA community. It was insane. It was this kind of like not a condo, but it was kind of like a townhouse type vibe. And I locked it up for $115,000 and I sold it for $140,000. All my cash buyers wanted to buy it for $125,000, but I sold it for $140,000. You know why? Because I found an end buyer who paid the most, like a realtor. How did I find this person? Did I list it on Zillow? No, guys, when you're doing dispo, do not list the property on Zillow like you actually own it. You don't own the house. You're brokering real estate at that point, and that is not good. Okay, don't act like a realtor. I get people to do novations, listen on the market that don't do that either. What I did was I went on the Facebook group for the community. There's probably like 2,000 homes in that community. Mm-hmm. Huge. And all I did is I joined the Facebook group and I said, I have a property that I'm about to flip or I'm going to flip, but I might just want to do another project. Does anybody here want to buy a property that needs a little bit of work for cash?
Yeah.
Guess what happened? Flooded. Oh, my son needs to buy a house, or my son's a realtor. Half of them are realtors trying to get me listed. But I found a rich guy that lived in the neighborhood that wanted his son to live there too. Mm-hmm. And he was going to renovate the property. So the rich dad, not rich dad, but he had some money. He bought it for cash, renovated it, sold it to his son for an FHA loan. That's actually not a terrible thing, right?
Yeah.
And he got a good discount and I sold it for way higher than a cash buyer. Yeah. And it worked like that. So if you want to find end buyers, stuff like that works, but they're rare properties. Okay. Yeah. For 99% of them out here though, I'll let you know, it's a flip or rent situation. Now, if you're getting it in a community, I do recommend you go try that. Be careful though, right? Because neighbors do talk, but it was a big enough community where it worked. So that's one little tip for you. Gurus never talk about that, but they're either going to want to flip it or rent it out. So if I want to find a landlord that's going to buy the property, fix it up, and then rent it out, where do the landlords hang out, right? They list the property for rent, right? That's all we're going to do. So we're just going to go, number one, to the for rents, all right? That can be on Zillow, Coldwell Banker, Realtors, whatever it is, but call them and the landlord should be on there. The landlord should have their info. If you go to freeholding.com, I have recorded calls of me talking to cash buyers that are basically landlord buyers. Number 2, we can cold call the actual cash sales. This is the list that you get at listrei.com. Handwriting's terrible today. All right, whatever.
Brutal.
But these are a list of people that buy houses for cash. It's literally a list of people that have bought houses for cash in the past month. You're going to call them up. Hey, I saw you buy this house for cash. Are you looking to buy any more for cash? That's it. I like to do the zip code of the deal we got, but it's pretty simple. Cash sales, you call them up, right? Number 3 here, this is a big one, but these are actually title companies. If you have a good wholesaling title company that does a lot of wholesaling transactions, ask if you can get connected to the cash buyers. Half of them will say no, half of them will say yes. It's a great deal. How many deals have we sold through our title company a deal that's kind of tight? It's crazy. Big. It's huge.
Listen, they know everybody. They know people who've fallen out of contracts, and they know who can close quickly. They know how much money they have. They know the type of properties they want. And really, the title company just wants the business. I would offer to buy lunch or do something special for that title company because, man, when you're in a pinch and somebody falls out of contract and you need a replacement, honestly, title company is probably your best one to close quickly on a deal, on a huge time crunch.
We go crazy. We for holidays and birthdays, we get gift baskets and all those things. But here's the thing. Let me tell you, I know it's easy for me to say it because when I go to our own title company, say, hey, you got any new buyers for this? We make them so much stinking money that they're okay. They want to help us out. So it's a little tougher for you starting out. I completely get it, but they're going to want to help you out.
You just got to build relationships with them because you can't don't be that type of person. So this type of person does it physically, and they're the same people who do it virtually. I used to run a RIA meeting, and we'd always have 2 or 3 annoying people, and all they would do is walk in the room, say, give me your card, I need cash buyers, and they'd run around the room, and everyone would just start oh my God. If that's how you want to network, you're going to get killed. It doesn't matter if you do it digitally or in person, because true networking is about providing value first, helping people out, earning their trust, and then having them reciprocate it with you. You can't, if you constantly take from people, they just avoid you. So now we have the new age spammers. People join a group. This happens every day. You see it, Zach. They join today, and then 2 minutes later, give me all your cash buyers.
Where my cash buyers at?
I'll skip trace. I'll do it. People are doing it in the comments right here. I'll skip trace. I'll do it. Providing absolute zero value. They just want to take. And when I get that, I'm done with you. I don't want to deal with people like that because your mentality stinks.
I agree. And so the next part here are property auctions. Okay, guys, there's property auctions, there's tax auctions, there's government auctions, there's private auctions. There's all these auctions. List. Guys, when you have an auction, okay, I want you guys to understand, and here's the property, right? Nice little house, whatever. Okay. And there's all these people right here, okay? And they're all bidding on one property.
Do we bid on the property, Zach?
No. And then look, I'm red. Never. Okay. I'm the wholesaler. I'm inside of there, right? Yeah. Guess what happens? I go network with all these people before the auction. All right. I go talk to all of them, right? We exchange info. I got a deal here, right? Look at that. I've infiltrated. And guess what happens? Only this guy won the auction. That means all these other people are super sad. I didn't win the auction and I got all this money to buy houses. Yeah. Guess what happens? We're going to go send them over. Boom. That's it. It works really well. Here's another thing too. I want you to understand this. This is a dirty trick, but I've done this, okay? There are actually wholesalers, and I will tell you, this is truth. I can't believe this is true, but it happens. That will get all the cash buyers together on a date and call it an auction. They will auction off their wholesale deal, okay? Yeah. They have a lockbox. They'll bring 30 cash buyers through, and they will literally auction off with them, or they'll bring them all through one walkthrough day, 30 or 40 of them. Guess what happens? I get on those email lists. I go to them and I steal all the guys' cash buyers. There's one guy in Stuart. He does not like me, but he did this. I just showed up, networked with everybody, all of them. And I got his top 40 cash buyers.
I get text blast all the time.
I've never seen it.
Service. I'm like, why are you guys doing? It's just, guys, listen, when you mass market and you do not vet and do it, you just get guys like me and Zach on your list. And I teach you guys this reverse marketing strategy to find markets and find cash buyers. They do all the work for you. These are people's egos that are just way too big. Now, it sounds perfect in theory. I just call everybody out the property at once. The reality of wholesaling, it just doesn't work. And honestly, you wind up pissing off a lot of people, and you're really playing realtor when you do that, because now you're selling the house, you're not selling the contract anymore.
and you're going to have a problem down the road with it. So take advantage of what other wholesalers go out there and do it. I just think it's funny. To me, it's reckless. And that's how you try to sell real estate without a license. And that's what draws so much criticism to our business.